Hi everyone, this is Nazria. I'm from Pursuit Education, and we have with us Nusrat Nazia and Dr. Nusrat Nazia, and she would be talking to us about higher education, talking to us about her journey. So, hi, Dr. Nazia. So, if you could introduce yourself, I'm not giving much introduction so that you can tell us all about you.
Okay, hi, I'm Dr. Nusrat Nazia. So I live in Canada now. So I just finished my PhD from University of Waterloo in Public Health Sciences. And I'm working for University of Waterloo now as a postdoc research fellow for the Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science. And so I'm really excited. Thank you for having me here today. And I'm excited to share any experience about any of my journey with you as well.
So let's just start with your studies. Like you started in Bangladesh. Were you studying in Bangladesh or in America?
No, I grew up in Bangladesh, so I was in Vikram Middle School. So I was there from first grade until HSC. So I did my SSC and HSC from Vikram Misa. So I'm a proud Vicky. And then I went to US actually for my undergraduate. So I was in Iowa, University of Iowa. That's where I actually did my undergraduate in geography and GIS. So I use Geographic Information System. It's the same technology used in GPS, and I think you use Uber, everything. So that's the technology is my background. And then I moved to Texas for my master's. So I did my master's in Geographic Information System from UT Dallas. And then I moved back to Bangladesh actually. I used to teach at North-South University. I also teach for a few years at IUB. So right before I did my PhD, I was a lecturer for the School of Environmental Science and Management at North-South LSU. So I was there until 2018, and then I left on a study leave to do my PhD here in Canada.
So are you planning to come back?
Not yet, so I'll see how that goes because I'm still looking for, I'm just getting more experience here because I have like more research experience. The PhD kind of gave me a foundation, but now I'm trying to apply all those knowledge and work on different projects. So no plan in the near future, but you never know.
So do you plan on being in the teaching field even after your PhD, or you want to get into research?
So I'm also teaching actually part-time for University of Toronto. So I'm a faculty there. I teach one class every term. But I am not sure because I do like research part, but I do love teaching too. So I'm applying for both long-term like professor or researcher, scientist, or both. Ideally, I would like to do research and teach this like a part-time and full-time research, but we'll see what happens. So I'm open to both.
So what made you decide to go to America after your HSC?
Actually, my dad's best friend I was just exploring different options, and honestly, I wasn't really happy. It's very competitive to go to Dhaka Medical, and there was like back then at least, it was a while back, and then Buet, so the private was kind of coming up, and so I had the option to either have private or outside, and I applied for different universities of US, and I had actually partial scholarship from my university. So it's really hard to get scholarship at the undergraduate level. It's more in the master's, but I had some tuition waived, so that was kind of one of my motivator to just go there.
So how did you pay for your tuition fees for your undergrad and master's?
Luckily, my dad helped. Masters, I had scholarship, but undergraduate was my dad helped, and so dad helped. I had scholarship, and then I also worked. So as a student in US, you can work up to I believe 10 or 20 hours a week, 10 to 20. Yeah. So I worked that kind of covered, and it was kind of cheap too. It wasn't that expensive. So I managed with that scholarship, and the rest my dad paid.
Wonderful.
But masters, so, I worked too, and then I had to work. And then I had scholarship.
Wonderful. So, if I ask you, like while growing up, if you had a role model or somebody who made you decide your path of life, who would that be?
Oh, definitely my dad, my father.
Oh,
So I grew up with him. And he used to work for ICTDRB. It's an amazing research organization. I'm still actually like, we are planning to work on a project with them too. My master's was working. So ICTDRB, I grew up basically in the compounds of ICTDRB. And it's like a research organization. They have so many different projects going on. So that was kind of my base. But then I was always like, I wanted to do computer science. I was like, that's cool, computers, like programming. But so I didn't want to do the research part yet because I didn't know, when I still didn't know, it kind of carved into it. So I actually majored in computer science and GIS when I went to university. The good part about the US universities, it's the one I really appreciate. They let you, I could take classes anywhere. Like I took even army classes. I took classes in pottery. I took classes in library sciences. So you have this option of taking different classes in undergraduate. So I didn't know what my specialization is, but I picked computer science and GIS. But when I did computer science, I realized, nope, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to be a coder or this. And GIS, it's more application based, which is kind of like exploring new topics. So I was like, okay, I love this. So I kind of chose that based on that happened, but eventually somehow I came to where my research lies. So I had the base a bit, I had a bit exposure, but then I actually got to experience more different things and I learned what I actually want to do. So it took a while to get here.
awesome. So, if you have to give any advice to girls, probably wiki girls who are just starting off right now, or every woman in Dhaka who are just thinking about studying abroad and they're still nervous, and what would be your advice to
I would
them and their
say,
parents?
oh yeah, that's just, I would highly obviously recommend it because I would really say, don't give up, don't be scared, right? Because when I came to do my PhD, I actually have a daughter. So I came alone with my daughter, just me and her, and a PhD. So that was actually scary too. So it was really scary thought. I was like, okay, I have a little child, and then I have to do PhD work within the certain time because the way my funding right now works, I have funding for 4 years. After that, I don't have. So I have to finish on time. Average takes 5 years. So, and even undergraduate, I had no idea. I've never actually been on an international flight before. When I first came, my first international flight was my one-way flight to Iowa, which I never heard of before. So the thing is, it's okay to be scared. My advice, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be nervous. It's normal to be scared, normal to be anxious of the unknown, but that scared should not just stop you from doing something. Yeah, I'm scared and I'm doing it. Just keep moving, just keep moving. You just have your eye on something. The thing is, you have to kind of figure out what you want to, like something around the line. Yes, I want to do something. I think making decision is the first part. Yeah, I'm scared, but I made a decision. I want to do my undergraduate somewhere and then work towards it. Just keep, and then my second advice is don't be disappointed with rejections. Like it's normal to be rejected for a scholarship. It's normal to be rejected from a university. It's normal to not even first semester. I did not even do. I really did really bad in the first semester, right? So I was like, and then it was really easy to give up. Okay, I can't do it, right? But then the main goal is not to give up. Just keep trying. Just keep going on, and it's gonna work. Somehow things just work out. Just don't give up.
Wonderful. It's a lovely advice. And I would love to show you around and tell you all about how we work with education, how we encourage young women to study abroad, go abroad alone to experience the journey. So thank you. Thank you again for joining us.